Welcome to Martini Time, my favorite time of the day. And so what are the threads I would like to connect today? Two things I read. One of them was about white nationalism, and something said by Senator King, saying that diversity was the enemy. Our strength was not in diversity. America's strength was not in diversity. And the other dot that I connect with that was a piece by Joy in the morning. I forgot her name now, but it's on MSNBC. But she had an interview with this author who had written about and was knowledgeable about evangelical Christianity and Trump's decision to move the capital of Jerusalem, the capital of Israel, to Jerusalem, which was a shout out for evangelicals and Trump's donor, who's in Las Vegas, who has been shoveling millions of dollars into his campaign for this very thing. I can't think of his name right now. But the point is, if there is a point, and I wrote the title on this talk, is America is under attack or siege from two fronts. Now these two fronts are the evangelical worldview, which is a biblical worldview of the end of times, that when Jerusalem is the capital of Israel, that will be the signal for Jesus to return, and the chosen people, the evangelicals, will be lifted up to heaven en masse, and everyone else dies. So they're praising and applauding Trump's speeding up Armageddon, and they're applauding that. We're all going to die, yes. In a rapture. We'll be able to watch it on TV. And then the other front is the white nationalists. Now their point of view is the same as the evangelicals, only it's secular. We're the chosen people, the white people. We're the chosen race. Where the evangelicals say we're the chosen religion. So you got two chosen people who are claiming to be the whole society and the truth of society, on the religious level and on the secular level, you see. They both reinforce each other, because they're both claiming to be the religious chosen people and the racially chosen people, and that they will unify America and restore it to its earthly greatness and its heavenly graces after death. So this, in this piece I listened to, and I've known this before, but he pointed out that this whole belief in the end of time is a recent turn in Christianity. This is not Christianity. This was a series of books called The End of Times that is based on this piece in Revelations, which is metaphorical and not factual, that the end of times will come when Israel is united and Jerusalem is its capital, you see. And of course all the Jews die in the rapture. So, it's kind of like I don't hear them celebrating. But so anyway, the point is that the policy of Trump is based in, like a compass with two legs. They make a compass like that. One of them's in Christian evangelical theology, and the other is in racism. And that's what's governing the country. And he wants to draw those two legs together and create a coalition of the damned, you see. This is insane. So, we really need to It's why I talk about this, because we really have to see the hidden implications of what's going on when we don't connect the dots. We just see this happening and that happening and this happening over there and that happening over there, and we don't see the bigger picture. We don't connect the dots until it's too late. That's what happened in Germany. It's happened in every country where people didn't connect the dots, and suddenly the dots connected like a door slamming shut, and it was too late to do anything. So there is a definite erosion of the American idea. Now, my friend was over here today. He travels around the world and talked about all the other countries who have, all the other modern countries who have health care. Then Europe, Sweden, and all these countries, and they think we're nuts. But they have something. In other words, America's weakness is America's strength is also our weakness. And this is a truth that holds in your life and in my life and in the life of every culture. You start out with your strength, and it turns into your weakness. And so the strength of America is that it has never been a homogeneous society like Sweden and Denmark and France and Germany. You go to Germany, they all look alike. You go to Sweden, they all look alike. You go to any culture, and most of the people there look alike. So it's a homogeneous, ancient culture that evolves through time. And so they develop a certain unconscious cohesion. It's called manners. It's called a moral way of behaving together that is unique to their countries. The Brits are famous for this. I mean, their sensitivity to the space of other people, and Japan too, is very strong, you see. The sense of the whole, the sense of the good of the whole, the good of the whole. So I'll pay taxes because it's the good of the whole. Even though it's hurting my business, if it's good for the whole country, I'll go along with it. So these countries see the good of the whole, and they pay more taxes for the good of the whole. But our country basically says what's good for me is better than what's good for the whole. So I don't want to pay taxes. You see, because our country seems to shift towards the individual freedom rather than referencing the individual freedom to the good of the whole, you see. My good is the only good, you see. But this is because our country has never been a homogeneous ancient culture. We are an idea. The American idea is an idea or a system that is based on immigration, welcoming influxes of different cultures and people that bring in their own morals and their own ethnicity, all these different, it's like a big stew. So we like carrots, and we like onions, and we like snaps, and we like turnips, and, and lamb, and we like cow, beef and pork, and we like it all in the stew. It's kind of like a Brunswick stew, the American stew, and that's what makes it unique. And everybody, and every generation, we correct the recipe and make it a little better, you see. But it's always a stew. So these two movements, on the religious level and on the secular level, are saying, no, we don't want a stew, we're going to have just carrots. A carrot stew. That's it. Just carrots. Right? Or potatoes, right? No mix. So we're going to get rid of all the other ingredients because they are not American. The carrots are American. Or the potatoes, the white potatoes, you see. No red potatoes, no black potatoes, just white potatoes. And just Christian carrots. You see. So it's kind of like that is, instead of referencing the whole stew, what's good for the stew, which is the pluralism and the ingredients that mix together, and that's why America's so creative. That's our strength. Our strength is the mix of different ingredients, which creates new recipes. New ideas, new menus, new foods, you see. We're always creating new stuff, and everybody all over the world loves our new stuff. But that new stuff is dependent upon the stew, the mix. Take away the mix, and you just got a plate full of carrots. Thanks for dropping in.